Americans waking up to this massacre on an already somber day today. Today marks 5 years since the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, at shooting in Parkland, Florida. It is a grim reminder that we have been here all too often.
America's latest mass shooting, this time terrorizing a college campus. Multiple students have described just utter chaos, running out of those buildings, calling their parents, huddling in dorm rooms.
Congress answers to the American public, and yes, there's a majority of Americans who want stronger gun laws. But I wonder, do you think the American public cares enough?
That's some of the reaction to last night's shooting at Michigan State University. Evidently, the gunman left behind a note. We still don't know its exact motive. But as someone who has done this, TV news, for 20 years, let me tell you, those anchors really don't care about the deaths of Brian Fraser, Alexandria Vernier, or Ariel Anderson. For them, it's about politics and probably to a certain degree, class. For TV executives in New York, the Michigan State victims could have been their kids. This hits very close to home for them. That's not the case for kids on the south side of Chicago. Just take this headline, for example, from WBEZ. Chicago Public Schools grapples with a spike in after-school killings. Last year, 9 children 17 years or younger were killed on a weekday between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., just 3 hours of the day. None of those killings made national news. 3 times as many kids died in Chicago just between 2 and 5 p.m. last year, and nobody cares. Chief Ralph Godbee is here, formerly of the Detroit Police Department. Pastor Corey Brooks, founder and senior pastor, New Beginnings Church, and founder of Project Hood. Gentlemen, it is good to see both of you. Pastor, start with you on this. Take race out of it for a second. Is this a class issue, and is it just sad to say that the American public and TV news anchors and executives just don't care about poor people when they get murdered?
It's definitely a class issue. First of all, my heart goes out to the families at a university. No one should have to experience a shooting death of their children while they're off at school. But like you said, I do believe it's about class. Whenever we have these shootings on the South Side, they become so frequent and so, so many people in our city become aware of them that these stories don't make national news and that they don't get the national attention. It's almost as if people don't care unless it's a national story. And so it really is hurtful. It really is a shame. And as a country and as a nation, we definitely have to do better to be concerned about all of our citizens, not just some of our citizens.
Hey, Chief,
yes.
How much of this has to do with the political answers here? The political answers to solving crime in inner city America, whether it be Chicago or Detroit, is complicated and it is uncomfortable. We are told, though, when it comes to solving mass shootings or school shootings, whatever you want to call them, but school shootings in particular, if just we take away AR-15s, then everything's going to be fine?
You know, I think it's much more complex and nuanced than that. And, you know, it's interesting to me, and Pastor Brooks, I'm sure you can associate with this. If you took those same 3 names and put them on the south side of Chicago, those other 5 victims, and put them on the south side of Chicago, the lower east side of Detroit, would we have the same level of fervor to talk about gun control and talk about how we curb violence in our communities? So it is very much an issue of class. We can't ignore race because it disproportionately affects Black and brown people. But I think class is the bigger issue.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.